Hey everybody, today I'm coming to you live from the Science Lab so we can talk a little bit more about our conversation related to the end of the Roman Empire and their connections to early Christianity. What you see on the screen here in front of you is actually the back part of what we started yesterday. So there's two more fill in the blanks that I'm going to kind of walk you through up here. There is this story of Constantine that I'm going to walk you through. There is the explanation of the XP, or some people call it the PX symbol for Christianity. And this bottom part right here, you all are going to have the textbook pages attached to this assignment that you can read through and kind of walk yourself through this bottom part. But for now, we're going to talk about the top business. Basically, what we can do with these last two is I'll finish off where you all were on yesterday, on the day previous, talking about the rest of the fill in the blanks. And what you're going to see here, is you're going to see just the answers to the last two, or you're going to hear them from me, I should say. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to just read the last part of this paragraph. You can probably figure out the last two fill in the blanks. Again, everything on this page, if you want to type it out on a separate Google document or just within an email, I can get the answers that way. Some of you all have been printing this thing actually out and then sending me a screenshot or sending me a picture, I should say, of what it looks like. Again, any form of you getting me all the answers my way is perfectly fine. Okay, so we have, as a result, Christianity was blank, and some Christians became blank, or people who are willing to die for their beliefs. Okay, people who thought the Christians were dangerous believed that they should be punished. Some Romans blamed Christians for causing natural disasters. In AD 64, the Emperor Nero falsely accused Christians of starting a fire that burned most of Rome. As a result, Christianity was outlawed. Christians were often mistreated. They were arrested and beaten. Some Christians became martyrs, or people who were willing to die rather than give up their beliefs. Despite the mistreatment, Christianity continued to flourish. Okay, so the first one here, as a result, Christianity was, if you caught it, outlawed. Christianity was outlawed. And then some Christians became martyrs, or people who were willing to die for what they believed. So for martyrs, Martyrs. Okay, so that walks you through those first two. So that was pretty easy. The next part here, the story of Constantine, we're going to talk about because, guys and gals, the real purpose we're talking about all this is because you're going to see this progression with the Roman Empire and Christianity. Early on in Christianity, the Romans don't really pay them any mind. There's not a whole lot of them. They don't really give them any thought. So early on, the Romans don't really care about Christianity because it doesn't bother them. Towards the middle here, where we just got done talking about with the fill in the blank, they really start hating them a lot because there's a lot of Christians. They're going against the old ways of worshiping the emperor and worshiping the Roman gods and goddesses. So in this middle part here right now that we just talked about, you have the Christians being mistreated or even killed by the Romans. So that's kind of the middle of the timeline. The last part of the timeline here is what we're going to talk about with Constantine, which is where Christianity actually becomes the religion, the favored religion of the Roman Empire. So you go from the Romans not really caring about Christianity, them hating Christianity, and them actually becoming Christian here at the end. Okay, so the story of Constantine, what you want to do in this space is exactly what the instructions say. Okay, I'm going to read the story of what's going on with Christianity and Constantine. And what you want to do in this space, it says describe the events that led to Constantine and eventually the entire Roman Empire converting to Christianity. So you want to jot down a few sentences or write me a few bullet points that are basically evidence or proof of how Christianity eventually is going to be the religion of Constantine himself and the Romans. So it says describe events that led to Constantine and the Romans converting. That's what we want to do. We want to list a couple of events that led to the Romans switching from the old ways to Christianity. Okay, so I'm going to read you all a story about Constantine, and while you listen to it, jot down a few reasons why Christianity eventually becomes the preferred religion. Okay, so the empire accepts Christianity. In the early AD 300, the Emperor Diocletian carried out the last great persecution of Christians, but his attempt failed. Christianity had grown too strong to be destroyed by force. So already Christianity is too big for an emperor to just kill all the Christians. There's too many Christians for that to be possible anymore. Okay. In AD 312, the Roman Emperor Constantine prepared to lead his military forces into battle. According to some early Christian writers, Constantine had a remarkable dream the night before the battle. In the dream, he saw a flaming cross in the sky. Written beneath the cross were the Latin words that meant, "In this sign you will conquer." The next day, Constantine ordered his soldiers to paint the Christian cross on their battle shields. Constantine won the battle and believed the Christian God had helped him. Constantine became a strong supporter of Christianity. In 313, he issued the Edict of Milan, which is like a law. So the Law of Milan. This decree allowed all religious groups in the empire, including Christians, to practice their religions freely. Constantine attended religious meetings of Christian leaders and gave government aid to Christians. With the help of his mother, Helena, he built Christian churches in both Rome and Jerusalem. Christians were allowed to serve in government and were excused from paying taxes. Christians even started to serve in the army. One of Constantine's successors, the Emperor Theodosius, banned Greek and Roman religions in AD 392, and he made Christianity the official religion of the Roman Empire. All right, so you have a few things going on here. In the box, like I said, if you want to go back and listen now, you can, but you should jot down some reasons why Constantine became Christian, maybe why his soldiers would have wanted to convert to Christianity, and even later on, why Christianity becomes the official religion of Rome. Okay? By the end of this, when I talk about this last guy real quick, Theodosius, he had actually said, we're going to ban Greek and Roman gods and goddesses, and we're going to make Christianity the official religion. So already, like you all kind of heard me say earlier, we've gone from the beginning of this timeline where Christianity is not really minded at all. They don't really care because it's not a big thing. So they don't care about it. They hate it, right? They outlaw it, they ban it, they kill people who are Christian. And then at the very end here, you have the Roman Empire actually converting because of people like Constantine to Christianity. And at the bitter, bitter end, they actually ban the other religions and make Christianity the official only religion. Okay, so again, in this box, we just write down some reasons why Constantine was going to convert. And real quick here, before I let you all go on the last part on your own, this XP symbol, or some people call it the PX, we want to work through it together really fast. It's a really quick story, but I know a lot of you all have probably seen this image before. It actually is a combination of two Greek slash Latin letters, and they're known as the chi and the rho. So this X was actually a representation of the sound chi, like CHI at that point. Looks like chi, but it's actually chi. And you also have the P, which was the Greek Latin kind of rho sound, kind of like the R sound. Okay. And I have this image here, and I don't need to read through this because this is just a Wikipedia excerpt on it. But it says the chi rho, because again, the X represents the chi part and the P represents the rho part, is one of the earliest forms of a Christogram, which is just a representation of Christianity, formed by superimposing, which means putting together the first two capital letters of obviously what's going to end up being the word for Christ. So you have this C and this H kind of enunciation. So they have this chi rho, like this kind of k r sound, and this X laid on top of this P is what that represents. Now, why it comes up here is because some historians don't think that Constantine had his army paint crosses on their shields. They actually think that he might have had them paint this Chi Rho symbol to represent the first couple letters of the name Christ. Okay, so it says, we will all work together to describe the significance of this symbol. Well, there you go. A couple of the significant things you guys could write is that a lot of historians think Constantine actually had the soldiers paint this symbol and not a cross. So Constantine's soldiers actually might have painted this on their shields instead of a cross. And it is actually two Greek/Latin letters that represent the first two letters of our word for Christ. So kind of that K-R sound. Okay, so far for today, you all have the fill in the blank, you have the story of Constantine, and you have the Chi Rho symbol, the XP symbol figured out. Your job for the rest of the day, then, as it says here, is explain who makes up each of these levels of the early Christian church. You want to read those pages, especially 384, but you want to read through some of them and tell me either a definition or an explanation of patriarchs, archbishops, bishops, priests, and laity. Knowing who they are or what makes up their level of early Christianity is your job for the rest of this paper. Okay. So, like always, again, you guys can send me these answers in an email. You can share your answers in a Google Doc. A lot of y'all have been printing it out and just sending me the picture via email. Okay. And you can still continue to do that. So, for now, I hope you all again are staying well, being safe. I'm assuming we'll see you all very soon here in about a week from now. We'll be back in the building, hopefully. So good luck on this, and I will definitely talk to you tomorrow. All right.